Righty. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for tuning in to the All-American Savage Show podcast. It is Wednesday. Today Wednesday?
All day long.
All day long. Can you hear me? Good?
Yeah, I can't hear you in the headset.
Well, the audio's coming through on there. Twitch, YouTube, we good? We got good audio? We got some good audio today. Hopefully we do. We should. We should be getting it right about now. So hopefully we do. Hopefully it sounds sexy. Can you hear my voice? I'm Batman. Oh my God. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for spending your morning with us, driving to work, getting your kids ready for school and everything. If you have kids, if you don't, you identify as a kid, do whatever makes you happy and stuff like that. But all right, so good gym session this morning. I know you've been getting back into it too, right?
I have been, yeah, just trying to live right, do the right thing.
I think it's because I've been fat shaming you, is what it is.
It has been.
Yeah, I've been fat shaming Josh since ever since we started working. Ever since we started working, I fat shame you, fat fuck, and then he gets back and look at that, like it works. Fat shaming works.
It does work.
I don't fat shame Josh. He fat shames himself half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. This episode is. He is literally opening up an Almond Joy candy bar right now, right across. Fuck you. Oh my God, man.
Didn't see that coming.
I can't with you motherfuckers, I swear to God. We're gonna go live on Instagram and promote the podcast there too. Oh my God, but I didn't see that coming. That was actually well played. So I guess we should start the podcast this morning with some good news. Like some good news. Fuck it, let's just do it with that. Yeah, everybody needs some good news in the morning. Let's not start off on a negative foot. So here we go. OnlyFans, Josh's biggest source of income. If you see this guy, what he can do with an Almond Joy candy bar, it's impressive.
That whole thing in my mouth.
Not just in his mouth. He does other things with it, and it's very impressive.
Well,
but OnlyFans. This is an article from Variety.com. OnlyFans drops planned porn ban. Will continue to allow sexually explicit content. Simps, we did it. We did it. We erased simps, sex workers, prostitutes, OnlyFans e-thoughts. We did it. We came together, no pun intended, and we made our voices heard. Porn will stay on OnlyFans. Move over Pornhub. The idea of individual workers being able to support themselves through technology brought on by capitalistic ventures, it's here to stay.
If it keeps them out of a dirty motel room, good for them.
If it keeps them from sucking dick behind a Cracker Barrel, I'm all for it. Although there's something to be said about a Cracker Barrel blowjob. Not that I would know. Oh my God.
Okay. Good
morning. That's how we're starting this podcast off. Forget Move over Socrates. This is the newest thing here. You're not going to find intelligent conversation in this podcast. OnlyFans dropped plans to ban pornography from its service less than a week after the UK content creator subscription site had announced the change, citing the need to comply with policies of banking partners. On Wednesday, the company said it secured assurances necessary to support our diverse creator community. I like how they try and throw in the diversity angle there. That's really sexy. Well done, OnlyFans. Way to be woke. We want to make sure that we are diverse. I don't know why I'm trying to do it like Trump. We're going to be so diverse. We're going to have such diverse titties and vaginas. All kinds of porn, folks. We're going to build a wall and have sex on top of it. It's going to be so good. OnlyFans is there for diversity. If you go woke, it turns to shit. If you want to shit on the wall, you can film that on OnlyFans too. On Wednesday, okay, yeah.
Two walls in one cup.
Two walls in one cup. Thank you to everyone for making your voices heard. We have secured assurances necessary to support our diverse creator community and have suspended the planned October 1st policy change, the company said in a tweet. OnlyFans, I can't even read this with a straight fucking face because they're saying shit that nobody gives a fuck about. OnlyFans stands for inclusion, and we will continue to provide a home for all creators. Not once have I ever been on OnlyFans. Not that I go on OnlyFans. I do. I've been on. I don't fucking care what people think about it. I've seen OnlyFans. You see a hot girl, and you click that link tree, and there's the OnlyFans. Like, boom! I'm about to see some $5 titties. That's what I'm talking about. Don't even fucking pretend like you don't. I don't do it all the time. There's just like a few people who are like,
Just
interested.
his extended bathroom period.
Extended bathroom, yeah, absolutely.
Like,
But not one time have I been on OnlyFans and thought, you know what? They need more diversity. We need more diversity. Not once have I ever thought that, but whatever. To each their own, I guess. An OnlyFans spokesperson declined to say which bank or banks it is renewed payment processing agreements with. The proposed October 1st, 2021 changes are no longer required due to banking partners. Assurances that OnlyFans can support all genres of creators, the rep said. No, OnlyFans. You're porn only at this point. Like, you're porn only. There is no creator diversity, like content. Like, you are porn only. That's all there is now. Don't even try and pretend like you're trying to be something other than what you are. You backed yourself into this corner. You're like the individual porn hub now. So like, don't try and change don't try and church it up, dirt.
Once the porn gets a hold of it, it's not letting loose.
It's over. Once you got porn in there,
that's it.
You're done. Talk about the American dream. Being able to like have no marketable skills whatsoever except spread your butt cheeks, show your butthole for $5 and you make a good living.
OnlyFans sounds like a porn name though.
It really does.
It's not like, I don't know. Maybe they could have came up with a better name, like.
Well, I mean, they like I said, they originally started out like trying to mirror Patreon,
right.
And then Patreon has very strict terms of services. Like there's like I remember I have a Patreon, haven't really done much with it. It was for gaming primarily, and Patreon has very strict terms of services. Whereas in OnlyFans was kind of like, hey, we're here, we're unregulated, boom, porn comes in. It's like, well, what did you expect to happen?
Yeah.
Anytime you have a group of people that you say we're gonna have no regulation, no censorship, like sex instantly. Somebody's posting dick picture, like it's happening. It's like
those dick pics will come out.
Yeah, it's like I used to make that joke. It's like sex with Kobe Bryant. It's gonna happen, but that doesn't really apply anymore.
Oh,
too soon.
Ouch.
Too soon. Oh, I'm getting banned for that one on one platform or another, whatever. But yeah, so this was all much ado about nothing. OnlyFans have been able to resolve its conflict with banks, some of which have refused to do business with the site. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, regardless of what you think of OnlyFans or the reasoning behind it, it only goes once more to show and prove you hit them in the wallet and they fold. You hit them in the wallet, they fold 9 times out of 10. Mm-hmm. Now I got sent a message that the Texas Renaissance Festival is now trying to do a cash grab by charging like $1,000 RV passes for the season. But yeah, I got to read the article. It was sent to me. It's ridiculous.
Well,
like
it's probably because so many vendors are starting to drop out now.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're welcome. You're welcome. We led the charge on that.
Yeah, I mean,
we led the charge on it, like, because basically, for those that don't know, we're keeping you abreast of the situation. How many of these can we drop this episode in relation to OnlyFans, like dick and porn jokes? We're gonna keep you abreast.
We'll put a tab on it.
Of the situation, a good D-sized breast situation here. Texas Renaissance Festival. We have a booth there. Tipsy's Woodworking. We sell tankards. We're about to sell these pipes. If you look over my right shoulder, your left, these wonderful, beautiful pipes that we're doing. You can smoke all kinds of great things out of them. And the Texas Renaissance Festival came out and said that in order to participate this season, that you have to show proof of vaccination. Now, again, I am all for a private business doing what it wants to do, but it does not mean that you are not going to face scrutiny on social media for the choices and decisions you make. And people seem to forget that, because I've had people DMing me like, I thought you were with the freedom of choice. Like, yes, but why does that freedom of choice stop with the decision made by the individual business and no ramifications from the public or, for example, the market? Everybody seems to forget that. They take it one step and then they don't go the second step, because it's kind of like, well, I thought you supported freedom of choice. Like, and like you're almost there. You're right. You're so close. I know you can do this. You're not stupid. I know you can do. Some of you are fucking stupid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the DMs I get is like, oh, you're fucking retarded. But it does not mean that you are free from the repercussions of the market making its voice heard. And if the market says we will not comply with this, which we said we wouldn't, we said we will not show proof of vaccination. This is ridiculous. You have no right to know our medical history. We're not going to do it. And then instantly, and God bless the Savage Army that came out in support on the Texas. Oh, geez.
Savage.
Bro, you want to talk about savage? I love it. Like, the people made their voice heard. Like, they had over 1,000 comments on the one post of the fat man and woman, who they should be like more at risk than anybody. And the comments, and a lot of people kept it respectful, and I appreciated that. Like, I think people that weren't going above and beyond to where it's like, I'm gonna murder your family. It's like, too far. But I'm grateful people actually kept it respectful and just made their voices heard. And then Texas Renfest came out, I think like 3 or 4 days ago, and said that, okay, vaccination proof is no longer a requirement. Now it's just a negative COVID test result every week before the start. And at first I was kind of like, okay, fair enough. But then, you know, I sat there again and I was just like,
it's a real hassle.
It's a hassle. Well, it's not just a hassle. It's none of your fucking business.
If you're grown up, then you should be able to determine whether or not you're sick.
Yeah.
Stay away from people if you are sick.
Well, I caught COVID from the fucking Renfest as a vendor because last season, in the midst of the pandemic, or the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, all we had to do was go in there and annotate our temperature, make sure we weren't sick, and that was it. And we did that. We complied. And then they said they wanted us to wear masks, and we half-assed complied on that. It was like, as soon as like the people weren't around, I was like, I'm taking this stupid thing off.
Like, I'm going to sit here in the 100-degree heat with a mask on my face.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And so I caught COVID, you caught COVID. It sucked. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't like the best thing. I mean, it wasn't worse than the flu. I just felt like I had a lot of fluid in my lungs. I did not feel good. I mean, I streamed. I stayed home half the time, and I just streamed and played video games. People saw me with COVID. But, you know, the fact that the Texas Renaissance Festival wanted to do this, and now, and we're still not going to go back until they basically say, hey, you know, just don't come if you're sick. I can respect that.
Yeah, that should be... You should do that anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you're not feeling good, if you're sick, stay home.
Instagram, we're going to be live on Twitch, links in the bio. It just, and I think more people are compromising on this. And I forgot to say this last podcast. Do not DM me whining about your job forcing a mandate on you, a VA or a vaccination mandate, excuse me. And here's the reason why. You are not being forced. You are not being forced. You have a choice. Your choice is either you conform and you take the vaccination that your job is requiring of you, or you quit. Or they fire you, draw some unemployment, be like the rest of the Democrats out there and Republicans. Like, that's why it's just such a shit show right now. You can't sit there and say you were forced. The business is choosing to make its stance. You have to choose to make yours. It seems to me that so many people seem to forget that with standing for what you believe in sometimes comes with sacrifice. This generation of social media slacktivism seems to forget the actual physical sacrifice sometimes you have to make to stand for a cause or a belief. So when you DM me and you say, oh, we had to get the forced jab, they forced to do it. No, they didn't. You chose to take it. You chose your job over what your beliefs are. Now, here's the thing. If that's what you choose to do, I'm not knocking that. But don't sit there and come crying in my fucking inbox when you bent the knee and you really didn't stand for your beliefs. You didn't. You caved. But what you don't seem to understand is if you hit them in the fucking wallet, they will cave majority of the time. Because here's the thing. If you just look how unions form.
Or OnlyFans.
Or OnlyFans. Like, for fuck's sake. I mean, half of you people out there, just go start an OnlyFans and show your butthole. Show your butthole. Your butthole's worth at least $5.
The consumer dictated how they made their choice.
They made their choice.
Not porn. Okay, we'll do porn.
We're going to do porn.
See? Full circle.
We should do a Texas Renaissance Festival OnlyFans porn site for all the vendors that are pulling out. It's like, hey.
There you go.
You know, I don't know if you really want to see that, though. I remember seeing half those vendors like, and they were bragging about the campsite and the orgies that went on over there. And it's like, y'all should come over and check it out. I'm like, nope. Especially when there was a shooting last season and like somebody got shot. It's kind of like, how fucking crazy are these orgies? How crazy are these orgies? You're over there freaking shooting shit up. Like, I'm picturing like a Yosemite Sam, like, yahoo, butt naked with a hard on. That's what I'm picturing. You know, like you don't want to peer into the mind. No, it's a bad. Like, it's scary in there. It's like a bad neighborhood. You don't go in there alone.
Did you go to the camp? I never went over there. I just heard about it.
Well, we drove past it every single time. I imagine that's where all the RVs were parked.
It was pretty crowded, too.
Yeah, it was a huge turnout.
Yeah.
And that was only at half capacity. Now they're saying this year it's going to be full capacity.
Well,
which,
we'll see.
Again, in the midst of COVID, that makes perfect fucking sense again, that you're opening up full capacity.
Yeah.
And you're still trying to do this to prevent, okay, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
We'll see how many people show up. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how many vendors are there and then how many
the
people
vendors
show
are going to
up.
dictate. I think if enough vendors pulled out, no pun intended. You see, we're on it, man. We're on it.
OnlyFans, it's
the OnlyFans
once it gets in your brain,
I'm telling
it's hard
you, man.
to get it out.
I'm telling you.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I mean, the market will dictate. The market will dictate. So if Texas Renaissance Festival chooses to continue this, which I think they will, I think that's the last line in the sand for them. So therefore, it's like we're not going to compromise on this.
That's fine. I mean, we'll sell our booth and move on.
I mean, we paid like, what, 12 grand for that booth, and then we just renovated the fucking thing.
I know. Josh
and Micah from Tipsy Woodworking went down there, made it look better, and now we got to sell the motherfucker. So, or if they'll just let us exempt ourselves from this season, we just don't go, and the next season we'll see what they say. I mean, we'll play it by ear. I'm just, I kind of miss it though. Like, I was looking forward to going.
It was fun. I mean,
it was.
The pageantry and it was kind of like a Disneyland around a little bit.
Disneyland with
but
meat
dirty.
and titties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meat and titties.
Yeah.
Because everybody's kind of like, oh man, wait till you see the outfits out there. And it's like a nude beach. It's not what you think. With the good comes a lot of the bad. And when I say by bad, it's kind of like, big boobs on a fat chick doesn't count. Like skinny abs on a skinny guy doesn't count. It's like that's not the same. Like it's not the. But there were some people out there who was like, good for you. Good for you and your pride.
Hey.
Like, good for you for having the balls to do that. And half the time you could probably see their balls. Like it was, it was a little weird. it was weird at times, especially like when it hits like afternoon to 1 and people start drinking.
Oh yeah.
And then evening time it gets really really interesting. You're just like, wow, this is crazy. Like
we got fights though either. Like for as many drunk people.
Not
a whole lot of fights.
There weren't a lot of fights.
So.
Just a lot of fucking and drugs.
Yeah.
Which we were going to bring Shell Shock CBD down there again, or this time. Because Delta 8, I think, would do fucking phenomenally well down there. In the orgy area, oh my God. Throw some Delta 8 at them. Because the sex on Delta 8 is amazing.
Yeah, our Delta 8, too, is just...
Oh, it's the shit.
Oh, it's the best.
This is the part, folks. This is where we're at.
So
You know what's coming, folks.
So
That's what she said. ShellShockCBD.com. Use code Burke to save yourself 10% off your order today. We have CBD, great quality CBD, folks. If you're sitting there worried about Biden and Pelosi, we've got something to help you out. It's so good, folks. So good. ShellShockCBD.com. Thank you for supporting our company. We're a year 2 company. We've been doing phenomenally great. We have Delta 8. We've got CBD oil. We just launched bath salts. Can you grab one of those bath salts from Tyler real quick? I want to show the people this. Like if y'all aren't seeing this, CBD is hey Tyler, can you grab me a bag of bath salts, please? If you don't know that CBD is actually wonderful for eczema and skin conditions, inflammation, we manufacture this in-house. It's tested. We went with a eucalyptus scent. We didn't want to do lavender. Everybody does. It's like lavender's like the basic bitch scent. We went eucalyptus, and it smells so good. So good. Somebody on YouTube says, love the Obama impression. Let me be clear. If you like your CBD company, you can keep it. That's a lie. This is the bath salt right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm putting it. I'll show it in the camera right here. That works out perfectly. This is the bath salt. We're charging $24.99 for this. It is eucalyptus scented. It has Himalayan bath salts from the hills of China. No, it really doesn't. I have no idea. No, it's not China. $24.99. You got skin issues? Try this out. Smells so good. I can't stop doing this. I can't stop doing the Trump. Like the little, oh, it's so good, folks. So good. And yeah, I'm already getting the questions. I knew this. Don't smoke it.
Don't snort it.
Don't snort it. Don't apply it anally. Just dump it in the fucking hot water. Stir it around.
That's it.
Get in it.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. It's that simple.
Relax. Enjoy it.
Yeah. And then scan your OnlyFans while you soak in a bath of Shell Shock CBD bath salts. Relax that tight little sphincter of yours so you can take it on OnlyFans for $5. Launch your OnlyFans. Use some Shell Shock CBD bath salts to help relax yourself, and then take some pictures, make some money, pay off the bath salt. There you go. You want to talk about entrepreneur mindset? That's it right there. Reinvest back into yourself, back into your OnlyFans. Relax with some Shell Shock CBD bath salts so your body is looking good that you can do your OnlyFans. You're fucking welcome for our service.
Yeah.
We're here to help you. We're here to help OnlyFans Shell Shock CBD. That's what we're going to do.
We'll do it from a tub.
We'll do it from a tub.
A nice tub. Like with the clawed feet.
The claw. So there's OnlyFans, so that's good. All right, moving on, ladies. We figured we'd start the show with some good news. Got a lot of wonderful feedback from our podcast yesterday, the first podcast we've done together in like 2 years. It's been like 2 or 3 years since you and I did this.
Too long.
Too long.
Too long if you ask me.
Too long.
Looking into those husky blue eyes.
I just want to fuck you so bad. Oh, whoa, we're still live. We're still live. Sorry, diehard Republicans that are listening that don't like hearing words like fuck and talking about sex and titties and stuff like that. I apologize. I don't fucking care. Good news. Good news right here. This is, things are really bad in this country when you go on the CNN page and they don't mention Trump at all. Like when you go on CNN.com and there's like no articles about Trump and it's all Biden, Afghanistan, court rulings, and there's like no mention of Trump, shit's getting weird. Like, like the whole dichotomy of left versus right when it comes to MSM is completely just thrown off its axis, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But this article is actually from Newsweek. I sent this to you last night because I sent Josh a text like, okay, let's cover this topic tonight or tomorrow. And by the way, we've got a landing site now that you, the viewer, can write in your request or your questions. And we also have a new tab on there on the website that you can do your confessions. So normally my Instagram story, I have anonymous confessions that you confess to Father Burke, and I'll share it. But your name remains anonymous, and we get some really interesting confessions. And it actually helps people, oddly enough. Like, people think it's stupid, but I get a lot of DMs on the John Burke on Instagram, and people are like, thank you for allowing me to say that. And I've had some freaky shit, and then I've had some really interesting therapeutic stuff come through. So we're actually be doing that on the show as well. We're going to be taking your questions and then also looking at your confessions. So I actually got to see if Sarah's tuning in to where she can actually post a link for that. I don't have the link on me right now.
I've peppered some in there, but I haven't seen you post any of them yet. So
because I know it's you.
I'm waiting to see if I can slide it in.
Like I'm looking at the fucking Q&A and I see Josh is like, I just want to lick your butthole. Like, I'm not posting that. We do that already. Federal judge overturns Biden administration's repeal of the Trump-era Remain in Mexico border policy. It's a win. That's a win. A federal judge has overturned Democratic President Joe Biden's attempt to repeal of a border policy instituted during the Trump presidency of Republican Donald Trump. That's very repetitive, but okay. The policy instated by Trump on January 25th of 2019 requires immigrants and asylum seekers to remain in Mexico while awaiting their immigration court proceedings in the United States. It was implemented as a part of Trump's Migration Protection Protocols, the MPP program, and followed through with his administration's aim of reducing the number of immigrants within the United States. I like this. I agree with that. It's like,
that's how it should be.
Yeah. And then, because I mean, how many people, they said thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that they'd come into America, receive their court date, it would be like 6 months from now, and they would just disappear.
They don't show, I think even now that they released like 50,000 some people into the United States, like dispersed them across the United States that they knew had COVID.
Yep.
So, wonder why there was a spike.
Well, they also, that was the thing that kind of pissed me off. When that got brought up, and actually CNN was covering this as well. And CNN is what I go by because I think they're the biggest propaganda MSM out there. Fox is bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't trust Fox. Breitbart is diehard fucking right. I get it. But when it comes to CNN, they're kind of like the measuring stick of like how bad shit really is in America. Because like when CNN is going against liberal policies, it's like, well, okay, like, when like the diehard libs of the left are like, well, hold on, this is kind of concerning. This isn't right. It's like, shit's getting bad. But even when CNN was talking about undocumented immigrants were coming over with COVID, and as a result, they're like, we need to close the border, we need to deal with this. And then instantly Democrats do the Democrat 101 playbook, xenophobe, racist, all this other shit. It's like, no, if we're so adamant about not letting COVID into our country, then you close the border, which is what we want to do with China. But Joe Biden labeled Trump a racist, a xenophobe, all this stuff. Kamala did too. The Department of Homeland Security has sought to repeal Trump's policy on a June 1st memorandum. However, pause for effect, the states of Texas and Missouri quickly filed a lawsuit for an injunction. Now, I saw this actually come over Greg Abbott's Instagram page yesterday. He's actually activated the Texas National Guard to push down to the border and some other things. And even DeSantis out of Florida said he was sending troops to actually support this and securing the southern border. I actually like that.
Why didn't they do that sooner? Why does it take so long to...
Bingo. Election year.
I mean...
It's an election year. And that's what really pisses me off about this. Like, even people that want to sit there and go after Biden for the withdrawal in Afghanistan, Trump had 4 years to do it. Yeah. And he didn't. I kind of think that hindsight 2020, Trump knew how bad the Afghanistan withdrawal was going to be. So he's kind of like, I'm going to just do a drawdown of like 5,000 troops and then let the sniffer dude just take the rest. He can Trump basically like nutted into a biscuit and handed it off to Biden. It's like, yeah, it's your limp biscuit now. You do what you want. Put it on OnlyFans. I don't care. I think Trump knew.
You think so?
I do.
I think he knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
But I think he would have handled it a lot better.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
Trump has
this
balls.
guy's just like, he's not there. Biden's not there.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't know who's running the show back there, but it's not that guy. It's probably Obama
That's actually
in the basement.
that's actually a very good point because like Biden is ducking questions from MSM.
Yeah,
he will
it's
not
like
field the questions.
Walk off, upset. He's like a grumpy old man.
Yeah, when Stephanopoulos interviewed him and he brought up the people falling off the C-17, Biden's like, that was like 4 or 5 days ago.
4 or 5 days ago.
It's like, yeah, and it's still relevant because it's still going on over there. And the new article just broke yesterday, and it has been confirmed that U.S. forces are starting to pack up over there. Like they're done. Like there is no more.
What they're gonna do is all the Americans that they're leaving over there. So they're saying, what was their Biden administration spokesperson came out and said, the people that went over to Afghanistan, they're supposed to like register with the U.S. embassy that's there. Well, they're saying there's some people don't do it. They're getting ready to just like leave everybody over there, like and pack up all their shit. Yeah, they're gonna leave up. They're gonna pack over and say, well, it was their fault for not signing in. It's their fault for not reporting to the embassy.
It's so fucking stupid.
And they're gonna leave them.
And what are they supposed to do? Taliban are coming over there and fucking
get gruesome over there.
People don't realize this either. They don't understand how bad it's going to be.
No, it's going to be terrible.
I think there's a few areas in Afghanistan that are still not under Taliban control. It's like central Afghanistan. I looked at a map of it yesterday, and people just don't realize how bad it's going to be. Which, let me finish this because I have another article of the Taliban basically told Biden, you have August 31st to withdraw all troops. That's your deadline. And under intense criticism, Biden is not trying to repeal this and push it back. He bent the knee to the Taliban, saying, oh, okay, we're gonna do this. We'll get him out of here by August 91st. And we still have people over there. Now we have private entities. We got a lot of special forces dudes. God bless these guys, these badass motherfuckers, running their own ops over there, getting these people out. How pathetic is that? When an administration drops the ball at such a high level that private enterprise comes in and says, we'll pick up the slack that you fucked up on. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is ever a reason not to trust your government, like what does this do for the future of allies of America? That they saw this. They saw Afghan interpreters, workers, administrative, all this stuff that literally, let me paint you this picture real quick, okay, for those that don't know. One of the hardest issues that we faced over in Afghanistan was getting the local populace to work with us. It wasn't us going over there trying to boss them around and dictate how they were supposed to act. It was us saying we are here to try and give you democracy, to give you money, to grow your crops, to live better lives, to promote the economy. And the problem that we faced was that while we would be there in these villages during the day, we would literally go into the villages, we would talk to the imam, we would sit down, our lieutenant, God bless him, young buck, stupid as fuck, doesn't know what he's talking about, is trying to converse with this imam that's like 60, 70 years old. He's the village elder. He's been around. He's seen multiple fucking wars. This guy's like, most of these people are hard-ass dudes. They're not bitches. And we're telling them, it's like, hey, we're here to help you. And the elder's kind of like, I realize that. But as soon as you leave, the Taliban in those mountains up there are going to come down. And if I'm working with you, they're going to slaughter my village. They're going to rape my women. They're going to enslave my children. They're going to murder me. So the problem that we faced is nobody wanted to work with us. And those that did literally risked it all. Taliban said numerous times, they actually put, where we were at in the Peshawar River Valley and Korangal Waterfall Valleys with 101st, they actually put money on our heads. They put bounties on our heads. They said, if you kill American soldiers, I think it was like $50. And to them, it's a lot. And I was kind of like disappointed. I was like, I figured it'd be worth at least 100, but they said 50. So, I mean, to them, that's a lot of fucking money. But I was kind of like depressed for a little bit. And I was like, man, I thought they hated me more, but I got to work on that. But basically, when U.S. troop presence in that village would pull back to our base, and these villages would only be like 3 or 4, sometimes 10 clicks down the road, Taliban would come down from the mountains and threaten them and say, if you work with them, we're going to murder you. And so they wouldn't work with us, or they would pretend to work with us, or they would manipulate the system because we had coin operations or coins, shit like that, to where essentially I had to go sign for like almost $3 million worth of Afghan money and literally had to hand it over to farmers and stuff for them to go buy corn, because we essentially tried to negotiate with them saying, look, the problem that we're facing is these terraces, because we'd be in a valley and they'd have terraces and they would grow corn and things such as that, or wheat. And when it would grow up, like get really tall, the Taliban would sneak into these fields and they'd volley fire RPGs at our trucks and our troops moving. So we essentially would try to get them or convince them to grow crops that were like less high, so the Taliban couldn't use those fields, and they wouldn't do it. They would take the money and they'd still plant crops, or they'd still plant corn. It's like, you motherfuckers. But what they also didn't realize, and this is why I loved Afghanistan, because it was like a chess game, that on our trucks we had a black, white, hot 50 cal machine gun. And we could see people in those cornfields, and Taliban didn't realize that at first. So when the corn get high, we'd see them fucking low crawling through the fields, and my gunner's like, he's got an RPG, he's like, all right, smoke him. Go, 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 go. Dude gets blown the fucking apart. So it's kind of like, maybe we should have encouraged them to grow more corn, because it's actually not working out to Taliban's favor. God bless technology. And then they figured that out, and they stopped doing it, and they started planting IEDs, and after that, you're fucked. But the point being is that after the Taliban had direct control over all of these villages. It didn't matter where you were. Didn't matter what you said, what you did. But for those few people, the interpreters, the people that actually came on base, the laundry people that did our laundry, internet cafe runners, cooks, it didn't matter. They literally risked it all. Their families were put in jeopardy because the Taliban said, if you work with Americans, we will murder you. Now, we fast forward 20 fucking years. Those very same people that have risked it all for us, to fight alongside of us, to work alongside of us, have been abandoned. Why would anybody in their right mind in the future ever ally themselves with America, knowing full well this is how we treat our allies? It's a slap in the face. It's the dishonorable thing to do. This is not right. Regardless if this was Trump, Biden, it doesn't matter who it is. This is not how American policy should be dictated. This is not how this withdrawal should have went. The Taliban taking over, again, I've said this numerous times, that ain't Biden's fault. That was going to happen. They were waiting. And that's why when Crenshaw's coming out saying we need to keep a minimal troop presence because that's going to keep the Taliban at bay. No, it's not. No, it's not. Eventually, the Taliban are going to get wise to what's going on. They're going to mount a huge fucking assault, and then you're going to have to flood more. You have to surge in there. So a minimal troop presence isn't going to do it. And then the fact that the Afghan army fled to Iran also shows the Afghan army is fucking worthless. It's going to take U.S. forces committed to staying in theater to push the Taliban back. Or we withdraw. We let that country go into a civil war. We strengthen our borders. We do what we got to do to protect ourselves. But that's, yeah. So I can't agree with Crenshaw on that one. And there's a few Republicans taking that side, but back to the other point of, I know I went off topic on, we're going back to the Trump policy of the Stay in Mexico. On Friday, the U.S. District Court of Northern District of Texas placed an injunction against Biden and administration's repeal. The injunction requires anyone acting under the administration's command to continue complying with the Trump-era policy. The court's ruling also requires the Biden administration to file a monthly report with the court. It's almost like a report card. I kind of like that. The report must state the total number of encounters with undocumented immigrants at the southern U.S. border and the number of immigrants expelled under the Remain in Mexico policy. The report must also state the total capacity and usage rate of immigration detention facilities in the U.S., as well as the total monthly number of asylum-seeking applicants seeking to circumvent the policy, court documents said. That's a lot of paperwork. That's a lot of, oversight. And I guarantee there's going to be a lot of shit slipping through the cracks on that one. This coming from CNN. Taliban. I love this. I wish these oppressed people in America that are bitching about how bad they got it would go over to Afghanistan and do that right now just to see the outcome, because I would laugh my ass off when they're cutting your head off and I'm like, you're really oppressed over here in America. Or they're burying you neck deep and they're fucking throwing stones at your head to cave it in. Yeah, tell me how oppressed you've got it over here in America. Taliban tell Afghan women to stay home from work because soldiers are not trained to respect them. This is a real article. This is what the Taliban, and the Taliban's trolling people on Afghanistan too, or on Twitter too. I never in my life would I think I'd find myself saying this, but they actually have some good memes. The Taliban are churning out memes now. Who in their right mind would have ever thought that we'd be at war with the Taliban and in meme wars with them? And some of my buddies that are still in are sharing some of these Taliban memes, and I can't help but fucking laugh. It's just such a shitty situation and scenario. But you look at some of these memes the Taliban are making, they're basically calling Biden a bitch and all this stuff. It's damn. It's bro, the Taliban are memeing you right now. You've hit the pinnacle of scrutiny and criticism from the entire world when the fucking Taliban are memeing you.
It's amazing that the Taliban is on Twitter. I got kicked off.
Yes. You got Project Veritas has been removed from Twitter. You've got Trump removed from Twitter. You've got so many right-leaning people removed from Twitter. But the Taliban
has a presence on Twitter.
Has a presence on fucking like Jack Dorsey. Like I wish we could hand him over to the Taliban.
Looks like he
looks like a Taliban sympathizer with his beard.
Yeah, he does.
And that weird little fucking nose ring he's got. I just want to rip that thing out and make him eat it, you little bitch. Fucking hate that guy. Like I have no love for him. Like I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend to be like a good human being. If something happened to him or Zuckerberg, I ain't shedding a single fucking tear. I'm not. Like, I'm really not. I think you guys have influenced the elections. I think y'all are just pieces of shit human beings. Like, at least if there were standards across the board, I could respect that. I say, hey, you know what? The right's been deplatformed on certain things, but so is the left. I'm not seeing people on the left as prominent on the right being deplatformed. I'm not. They fucking zucked my account, my Instagram account. My John Burke 1 that had like 200-something thousand people. That got zucked. I got my backup, the John Burke, and then my political account, John Burke Sergeant Savage 1776. And you can follow me on Twitter at Sergeant Savage as well.
And we also are uploading these to Rumble.
Yes, the video podcasts are going to be on my YouTube channel, the new YouTube channel. That's John Burke, the All American Savage Show podcast. Also on Rumble. You can find us there. So if they do pull these video podcasts down from YouTube, you can get them on Rumble. Rumble's pretty cool about that.
Yeah, and you can also start live streaming on Rumble too.
Yes, we can start live streaming on Rumble. So if YouTube boots us, Twitch, I've been streaming on Twitch for almost 3 years now. Yeah. They've only suspended me one time for an infringement of a song, which fair enough. Other than that, they have never done anything to me. Like and Twitch is owned by Amazon. They're extremely left leaning, and I'm surprised by that.
Twitch is?
Mm-hmm.
How are all these, I don't know, tech firms also far left-leaning?
I think in public they are, but I think in private they're very conservative.
You think so?
When it comes to finance, yeah, I think so. Tori says on YouTube, just did a $1776 donation, says, keep spitting truth and set the world on fire. Well, don't say that in California. They take that shit seriously. But thank you very much. Thank you for the $17 donation. Fear is mounting for women and girls in Afghanistan after the Taliban told working women to stay at home, admitting they were not safe in the hands of the militant group's soldiers.
Really?
Weird. Weird. Strange. You mean the Taliban can't control their own foot soldiers that are out there raping women and fucking killing children? Like, really? Oh, okay.
Terrorist organization?
You mean the terrorist organization?
You mean the terrorist organization? The Boy Scouts. They will not help you across the street.
You want to buy some Thin Mints?
They will not hold the door open for you.
It's the fucking Taliban. And all you fucking basic bitch white girls out there, like, making your press announcements on your fucking social media. Taliban, I've got something to say to you. This is so not cool. Stop it. You stop it. And meanwhile, fucking Habib's over there going, who the fuck is this bitch? Like, who the fuck is this? It's like, if you were here, I'd probably rape you and fucking kill you. Like, you want to talk about, like, American privilege? That's American privilege right there. That you don't know what it's like in the Middle East, and you want to sit there and, like, tell the Taliban over social media, you stop it. I'm going to hashtag trend on Twitter. Meanwhile, the Taliban's riding their donkey in the middle of the fucking desert going, what the fuck is a Twitter? But I got an RPG. So, oh, my God. Oh, thank you very much, Tori. It says, for the $50 donation on YouTube, says, time to tell America Osama was never in Afghanistan because the Taliban hated him at Peach 44. Osama was over there in freaking Pakistan, and yet we have deals with Pakistan. Like, they were hiding terror. Like, they knew. Pakistani government knew Bin Laden was there.
The whole area is just corrupt.
They fucking
It's never going to be
absolutely
a place of fine, upstanding citizens.
Oh, I can't stop thinking about the Taliban Boy Scouts that you just created in my mind.
Helping people across. There you go, Grandma. Let me whip you with my belt.
People didn't know this, but like over there, even in Iraq too, when you're walking down the street, the women have to walk 10 feet behind the men, and they have to carry all the shit. The men don't carry anything. The women are in the fields working. When the men go into the market to shop, the women literally go to a wall, take a knee, and face the wall, while the men go in the bazaar, talk, drink chai, shop, do whatever. The women have to stay. They get treated worse than a dog. People don't know this about the Taliban, or just the culture over there. The culture. Women are actually oppressed and suppressed over there, violently treated and murdered. Taliban spokesperson Zabullah Mujahideen said, I just got that Robert De Niro skit in my head of the freaking who's being farting. We're looking for these top 10 terrorists out there. Haider Salami. You remember that? Oh, it was a skit with Robert De Niro on Saturday Night Live, like at the beginning of the war, I think it was, and they were going after like Islamic terrorists, and they said like who's being farteen, like these top 10 lieutenants of the Taliban. It was really good before De Niro went just ultra fucking diehard, literally like I would have punched Trump in the face.
Tough guy.
Tough guy. Like De Niro, you're old, and you were a gangster in movies, not real life. Like, don't let your fucking acting translate into real life thinking that you're a gangster. You're not. Anyway, Taliban spokesperson Zabullah Mujahid said at a news conference on Tuesday that women should not go to work for their own safety, undermining the group's efforts to convince international observers that the group would be more tolerant towards women than women when they were the last in power. Okay, yeah, like people are really gonna believe this? Like people are really gonna believe this? I'm not. Taliban is like, oh, like it's kind of like one of those scenes of like, tell them how happy you are with the woman there, but what you don't see is the gun stuck in her back. It's like, tell them how good we're treating you. Like, stop. Or like that Hot Shots Part Deuce, or yeah, when like the colonel's like doing the interviews, like they're treating me really well here. The food is good. That's what they're gonna do over there, and it's really not a laughing matter. But I think the funny part about this is that there's going to be people in the West that believe this bullshit, especially the MSM.
Yeah,
the MSM's gonna buy this hook, line, and sinker because they're gonna parade this as some
Did
type
they buy
of victory.
It, or are they just trying to get other people to?
Oh
buy
yeah.
It?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because they want.
Because when the cameras are out, they're probably like,
Oh.
"Oh my god, this is terrible!
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't believe this is going on."
The MSM doesn't want to essentially make it look like we've lost.
Yeah.
So they're going to do everything they can. It's like, oh, look, it's not that bad. Taliban are actually treating women with respect. It's like, no, they're not. Like, they're really not.
Okay.
You're not going to. This is the
Go
thing.
negotiate with them.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to offer them money and, oh, my God. I read an article yesterday that talked about how much weaponry that we left to the Afghani army that now is in Taliban's hand. Over like 600,000 M16s and M4s, thousands of vehicles. Like, we just rearmed the Taliban.
Yeah.
So when people said, like, we need to go back over there, it ain't going to be the same. It will not be the same. Now it's going to be legitimately, I wouldn't say a force-on-force type of war if it came to that. Like, I don't know how many tanks they got their hands on. And here's the other thing. People are like, they're going to be so pissed when they realize, like, the Taliban are finally going to learn what military grade actually stands for.
Yeah.
They're going to get in our fucking vehicles and they're like, this stuff is shit. It's like, yeah, pretty much. No wonder you were beating us for 20 fucking years. Like, our stuff is shit. It's made by the lowest bidder. So, and then there was the picture circulating of like the Taliban like standing behind a desk, and they actually had trigger discipline. Everybody's like, oh, where'd they learn that from? It's like, you think the Taliban is stupid? It's like, we've trained these people. Like, Taliban had infiltrated the Afghan army. We trained the Taliban. They know our tactics. They know our weapons. They know everything. They're not stupid. Like, do not undermine these people. They know what they're doing. MM Martin on YouTube with a $5 dono. Thank you, sir. The instruction came the same day that the World Bank halted funding in Afghanistan, citing concerns about the safety of women, and within hours of the UN calling for a transparent and prompt investigation. Oh my God. How do people still not, like, why do we even have a UN? They're fucking worthless. They are worthless. Like, really? The UN is calling for an investigation of the Taliban, and like, who's going to investigate these people? Like, you're sending the sheep into the lion's den to say, go investigate them. Like, okay, pow. It's like, well, the messenger we sent, we got his head back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of, like, you don't negotiate with terrorists. Like, you're not going to, yeah, that's, it's just, the level of cognitive dissonance and ignorance displayed is mind-altering. Mujahideen said the guidance to stay at home would be temporary and would allow the group to find ways to ensure that women are not treated as in a disrespectful way or, God forbid, hurt. He admitted the measure was necessary because the Taliban soldiers keep changing and are not trained. We are happy for them to enter the buildings, but we want to make sure they do not face any worries, he said. Therefore, we have asked them to take time off from work until the situation gets back to normal, order and women-related procedures are in place. Then they can return to their jobs once it's announced.
As long as they're vaccinated and are wearing a mask.
How has the Taliban done this without mandating vaccines and wearing masks? That's the true concern. That's what we should all be concerned over right now. That's like the big, like, how are they doing this without wearing masks? Like, COVID must be rampant over there, as well as tuberculosis and all kinds of other shit they have.
Yeah.
It's such a joke, man. It's such a fucking joke. We sit there and tell the Taliban, it's kind of like, you better do this, and the Taliban like, go fuck yourself. What are you gonna do? Like, we beat you back for 20 fucking years. We beat the Russians. Like, what are you gonna do to us? Like, stop. Like, you're silly. Stop. But I know what the Taliban are doing here. It's a smart move. They're trying to play the optics game, and it's a smart thing for them to do.
They're trying to evolve.
Mm-hmm. No, they're not gonna.
You don't think they're trying to evolve their?
No, it's an optic.
A sharper terror group.
No, it's an optic. It's 100% an optic. They are not going to promote women's equality, women's rights.
No, I'm not saying like they're trying to evolve their deceptiveness. Yeah. They're trying to play the game. Yeah, they're not going to be like a good people going out. Like they're not going to like women aren't going to be equal to them.
They are getting political. Yes, they are getting
these guys out of here, and then the beatings will commence.
If there's one thing that they learned
the
from
meetings will commence until morale
improves. Yes, the meetings will continue. If there's one thing that they learned, the Taliban learned from American politics is like lie.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do?
That's all they do is lie.
Oh yes, we're not gonna kill any more Americans trying to evacuate. Wink, 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 wink. It's like pow. Like, just kidding. Like, you cannot tell a country that is an open rebellion and revolt what to do.
No.
It's like, go to your room. Like, go fuck yourself. I've got an RPG. What are you gonna do? Like, you invaded me for 20 years. We're still here.
We've got all this new equipment.
We have all this new equipment. I sound Indian when I do that, so I can't
it's
really
hard
do
to nail it down.
Yeah. When last in power between 1996 and 2001, the militant group banned women from the workplace, stopped them from leaving the home unaccompanied, and forced them to cover their entire bodies. Oh,
full body mask.
Full body mask. That's the best way to prevent COVID. And sometimes wear two.
Full body mask.
Wear two full body masks.
Yeah,
two burkas.
Sometimes three.
Burka for me, burka for you.
This is
burka.
an N95 full body mask. It's equipped with HEPA filters.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's the truth though. It's the fucking truth. Oh my god. A Taliban fighter walks past. I also saw pictures of like the salon owners that had women on the outsides. Taliban were spray painting over the women's faces. So don't think for a second that these people are going to promote inclusion and equality. They are not. So I'm sorry, basic white bitch influencers. No matter how many hashtags you put, pray for Afghanistan or death to Taliban, that just doesn't change it. It's like the ALS, like dump at the water. It's like, stop the Taliban. Ooh, it's cold. Okay, well, I'm gonna
this
go.
Picture on CNN, and the guy they have there looks like a really upset Aladdin.
Oh. It's ridiculous.
He's got a machine gun over his shoulder.
Yep. The group has insisted its new era in charge will be more moderate. Bullshit. But Taliban leaders have refused to guarantee women's rights will not be stripped back, and many have already faced violence. I mean, that kind of proves it right there. That proves it right there. Like, we're trying to progress, we're trying to be more modernistic, but we can't guarantee women's rights. So, yeah. I'm going to need you to stop coming into work and just make babies and go work in the fields.
If you don't want to get stoned.
If you don't want to get stoned or me to castrate your clit, they do that. They do
genital mutilation.
100%, yeah.
Look.
We are deeply concerned about the situation in Afghanistan and the impact on the country's developmental prospects, especially for women, World Bank spokesperson Marcela Sanchez-Bender said in a statement to CNN. And 5 women from Afghanistan's renowned robotics team arrived in Mexico on Tuesday after being issued humanitarian visas. In the early months of the Taliban resurgence in Afghanistan, women have been increasingly isolated from society, and many have been the targets of harassment and attacks, including the high-profile murder of 3 female journalists in March. In early July, insurgents walked into the offices of Aziz Bank in the southern city of Kandahar and ordered 9 women working there to leave, Reuters report. The female bank tellers were told that male relatives would take their place. How kind of you. How open and generous the Taliban are. You, go home. Your brother's going to take your place. You fatty over there. Put your burqa back on. Put both of them on COVID. You know how it works. I don't know why my Taliban impersonation. Now a dude from Brooklyn, but we're going to go with it. Like, you fat fuck. You put your mask on, and your brother's going to come here. But mister, my brother actually has a good pain. I don't give a fuck. He's taking your place because
He's the banker.
you're the banker now. Look at me.
Women.
You're the banker now.
Small brains.
Go home and do an OnlyFans. Do your N95 full burqa OnlyFans.
Can they do OnlyFans over there?
Fuck no. Oh, God, no. Oh, they would murder their entire family if they did that.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
They would track them down. What if they're wearing burqa? How are they gonna?
Still wouldn't matter. Oh my God. In early July, insurgents walk. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Amid increasing concern for the international community, the United States or the United Nations called for a transparent and prompt investigation into human rights abuses committed by all parties to the conflict on Tuesday after an emergency meeting of its Human Rights Council. You can't make this stuff up. But the agency was condemned by a number of non-profit organizations for parsing its language after adopting the resolution initially proposed by Pakistan. I can't read this anymore. This is so stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever read.
I'll just go all the way down to the last paragraph there.
We're calling for a transparent investigation to the Taliban. It's like the government saying, "Hey, we want a transparent investigation into MS-13." Okay, that's gonna work out great for you. And while we're at it, let's go investigate the Crips and the Bloods. Let's do it. But U.S. President Joe Biden reiterated that he aims to stick with his August 31st deadline to withdraw troops from Afghanistan as long as the Taliban does not disrupt ongoing. They already are. They already are. There's reports of them setting up checkpoints outside the Kabul airport, like not letting people through. So they've already went back on their word.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue going back on their word because, and here's the reason why, they are not afraid of Biden.
No, not at all.
They're not.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. If it was Trump, I think it would be way different.
Yeah.
Way different.
They'd be like, this guy will drop bombs on us.
Yeah, 100%. They don't fear Biden.
Biden, they're like, he might sniff us.
They might. And then of course the White House is putting out that gay intern dude, and it's like democracy's calling, and like that's. I saw a meme and it was actually pretty funny. It said when the Taliban saw that woke video from the White House about that intern, the gay intern, they were like, "Fuck it, we got this.
We won.
We got it.
Victory."
I'm surprised they didn't mount a fucking like aquatic landing on our shores, like an invasion, like a fucking Afghanistan D-Day. It's like, hey, look, the fucking gays are doing dumb shit. Let's take over. Let's go. They're not gonna fight. Like, the Democrats are in control. They're not going to fight. They're just going to sling fucking dildos and, like, hashtag us. That's all they're going to do. Like, let's go fucking invade. It's fucking pathetic, man. It's pathetic at this point. Oh, my God. I can't even. All right, let's read one of your questions that you wrote in at. I'll post the link to where you can write in at. I'll post the link where you can write in your questions, and the first one we received, and you can go to my Instagram stories and swipe up. It takes you directly to the website where you basically ask. First question comes to us. What is the most effective thing a citizen can do to bring about change and get their message to the people? What we're doing. Make your voice heard.
I think just acting locally, too.
Yeah, starts with grassroots, yes.
I've been trying to get more involved in my neighborhood stuff, too.
Yeah.
Because liberals will just pour in and will take over and then not give you a voice.
I mean, look what the Taliban are doing. They're doing drive-bys, street patrols. Like, they're getting involved at the neighborhood level. They're very involved.
Take a page out of the Taliban book.
Right? Do that. But not violent.
But
unless it gets to that point.
Yeah, don't whip women.
Don't beat women. Don't like kill children. That's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, get involved at the lower levels. You know, if you have kids in school, you need to be attending their freaking the meetings and stuff, PTA meetings, shit like that. See what's going on in your local community and make your voice heard, because you're gonna come to realize we're actually the majority. Yeah. People don't know that. The MSM paints this like this is the thing that aggravates the shit out of me. And this is my official stance on the vaccine or whatever it is. It's not a vaccine. I don't care what you do. If you want to get this jab, get the jab. Cool. Don't care. But if I don't want to, that doesn't suddenly make me anti-vax. It means I don't trust this thing. This thing has been expedited, and the FDA just approved one, and people are flipping out going, oh, the FDA approved it, must be safe. The FDA has also approved a lot of things that killed a lot of them. There was the one medicine that recalled. It caused like over 60,000 heart attacks. Like, don't sit there and think the FDA is the end-all be-all to what's actually safe. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying this isn't safe. I have no idea. But I'm just letting you know that I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all.
Stop trying to get me to wear a mask.
And stop with the mask shit.
If you want to wear a mask, if you want to mask your kids, Put them in a mask. I don't agree with it. I don't think it does anything. If you're wearing a mask, then why do I need to wear one?
Exactly.
Wear a shield. Wear whatever you want.
And then
burqa.
And you want to wear the freaking double burqa, go for it. What aggravates me though is these people are coming out and they're saying, "Oh, what are you, a doctor? You know what's best for people who want to vaccine or don't. Like you know what you're talking about." It's like, are you? Do you know? Like, do you know what this stuff does to your body? You know what's in the vaccine? Because I don't. Am I seeing them mix this shit? I have no fucking idea. And I can't sue them if something goes wrong.
No, you can't.
That's the other part. It's like there's no tort law.
Malpractice is like the fourth cause of death in the United States. So.
And then people don't realize that. It's like, you want me to trust the government? Like the same government that's been lying to us for so fucking long on the left versus right. The MSM that's politicized all these hit pieces on each side that they lie. Like this is like all the dissent and resistance to the shit. It's the fault of the MSM. This is the MSM's fault. You have lied so much that we don't believe a single fucking thing you say. Why would we? Numbers have been manipulated. These political entities in the government have been weaponized. So why am I going to believe this? And I've made this point countless times, but me saying I don't trust the COVID vaccine because I want to take a step back and say I want to see the long-term effects of this before I take the jab. Number two, I'm healthy. Like, I'm okay. I'm 37. I'm in like really good shape. Like, my immune system is like, I could go out there, like, I got jabbed with so much shit in the Army. By the way, time-tested vaccinations that work, that I'm okay. I'm not the demographic that has to be worried. And if getting the vaccine, or whatever this gene-altering therapy bullshit is going to also not prevent me from spreading it, then why the fuck do I... Because essentially saying it's to essentially help immunocompromised people from not getting it by you receiving the vaccine. No, I'm not going to jab myself with something that a very small percentile of people could be at risk for. No, I'm not going to do it.
Nope.
No, I'm not going to jeopardize myself. And then the other part that really concerns me is that people that are coming out against the vaccine and all these other things, doing their videos, and these doctors and stuff, they're being silenced. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
That's like a big red flag. Like, let the people hear these other side of the story and make their own opinions and decisions.
Well, nobody can give any sort of study or statistics about like wearing a mask and what it does. Are there long-term effects from wearing a mask? I don't know. There's no studies. There's no case study. I think over in Scandinavia they did a side-by-side comparison, like somewhere in that area where schools that had mask mandates and schools that didn't, there was no difference. And
well, I saw a thing Ben Shapiro
cases.
tweeted yesterday. It was a graph of vaccinated cases versus unvaccinated cases being admitted to the hospital. And there was a clear differential between vaccinated people were much lower cases, but it was from 13 states.
Yeah.
That's kind of like missing a good chunk of the other remaining states. There's 50 of them total. Why are you just showing 13? Trump pushed the vaccine at his rally. He got booed for it.
Yeah.
But if Trump wants to get the vaccine, do your thing. But the thing that aggravates me, though, is that if I don't trust this vaccine and I just want to take a step back and say, whoa, the FDA approved this, but there is literally no long-term clinical trials on this. There's none. Why am I going to stick this experimental jab in my body?
Yeah. If I have a 99.98% chance of surviving,
yeah,
I'm gonna roll those dice.
100%.
No.
I don't agree with that.
No.
With Biden poll, and this is from Fox News, with Biden poll numbers plunging, Democrats worry Afghan exit may impact next year's elections. Oh, 100%. The distressing images out of Afghanistan appear to be having an instant political impact. President Biden has been facing a barrage of bipartisan criticism for over a week and a half for his handling of the hastily organized evacuation efforts, where U.S. forces are rushing to rescue as many Americans and allied civilians as quickly as possible following the lightning-fast takeover of the capital city of Kabul by representative Taliban forces. The president's being accused by both Republicans and some Democrats for underestimating the Taliban and overestimating the strength of the now collapsed U.S.-backed Afghanistan government and military. So there was a sound clip. I wish I had this clip. There was a clip of Biden saying that the Taliban, it's very unlikely they're going to take back over. Boom! Under a week. Almost all of Afghanistan.
It's all the guy does is lie. Like,
yeah.
He's not.
And here's the other thing.
No information that comes out of him is good information.
No. He's already lied about this stuff. And the other fact is that him and General Miley blame the intelligence community. I can almost guarantee the intelligence community are kind of like, yeah, you pull out, they're coming. That's what she said. You thought I forgot, but we're back. Hey, we're back. It's just mind-blowing to me that General Miley blamed his intelligence community.
You know.
And why are these people being fired?
That guy's,
They're
He's
idiots.
worthless.
Yeah, him, Lloyd Austin, they're fucking the pieces of shit.
That whole administration is worthless. Like,
Garbage.
What are they producing that makes a difference in anybody's life?
100%. Like, if you're getting it wrong, heads should roll. Fire that motherfucker. Get somebody else in there that can do the job the right way.
I mean, it's just they haven't done anything.
No.
Nothing worth noting.
And the other part of it is that when...
If he did nothing, it would be doing something.
Yeah, right? Yeah. The other part is that the fact that the Taliban took over almost all of Afghanistan that quickly showed the Taliban forces were serious. Like, they have numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no way to prevent this from happening. The only way to prevent it is the Afghan army actually would have stayed and fought, and they didn't. Leadership negotiated with the Taliban, said stand down. Taliban swooped in. Dunsky.
Yep.
We didn't train the Afghan army to do that. We trained them to fight back, and they chose not to. It is the Afghan army's fault.
There's a video, I think it's a documentary, about these soldiers talking about training the Afghan army.
Yes, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, and I know what one you're talking about. I've seen it circulating on Instagram.
Yeah.
It shows them like doing the jumping jacks, and they're all fucked up. They don't know what they're doing.
It's
And
like the majority of them are like drug addicts or criminals.
Oh, yeah.
So they didn't, the people that just got kicked out of villages that they didn't want there. So
it is
like,
not.
Yeah, y'all had a lot to work with over there.
That was great. It was like fucking herding cats, baby. It was like herding cats. Good times.
Sounds like herding cats might be a little bit easier.
Probably. At least the cats that you're herding aren't trying to shoot you in the fucking back. But, yeah. Amid the crisis in Kabul, the president's approval rating is plunging, according to two new public opinion surveys released on Tuesday. Biden's numbers stand at a 41% approval and 55% disapproval in a new USA Today Suffolk University national poll. Okay, to be fair, I have never been polled. Who's getting polled? Who's
Your mother.
Your mother. Your mother's getting polled. Trebek. Who's getting polled? Not once have I ever been polled on anything like this. So I kind of want to know where these polls are coming from, what the demographic is, and their political leanings. That's a dramatic drop from a president whose approval rating until a week and a half ago had averaged in the low to mid-50s since taking over in the White House in late January. While Democrats are sticking with the president, 87% give him a thumbs up on the job he's doing. 87% give him a thumbs up for abandoning our allies in Afghanistan.
So that means the other 20% of CNN doesn't agree with him? It sounds like an internal
That's what it sounds
poll.
like. It's ridiculous. It's fucking like 87% say, hey,
okay.
you dropped a big fucking ball, but good job, because you know what? You're not Trump. You fucking idiots. And it's a similar story in a key general election battleground state. Like, this is honestly, I hope this continues, because in midterms, there's going to be a red wave. It's going to be like, people are going to realize, like, these Democrats are fucking this up. They lack the testicular fortitude to stand up to our enemies and to back our allies. This is what Democratic leadership gets you. You have no balls. Zero balls. None. Dunsky. Kamala has bigger balls than Biden does. And our world enemies know this. They know this. Biden is weak. He is a decrepit old man. He lacks the spine to flex on the Taliban. All he has to sit there and do is just say, bomb them. Hit them. Intelligence can do it. Uncuff your pipe hitters and let them go over there and stack fucking bodies. Your forces have the capabilities of doing this. But this is the problem. We saw this in the military as well. When you would get an attached asset, say for a sniper unit or a HUMIT team for intelligence, the usual unit commander did not know how to effectively employ them because he didn't know specifically what they did. And he would oftentimes misuse them in a way that they actually weren't as effective. It's like taking a sniper and putting him in a truck and say, man, this machine gun's. Like, that's not what he's trained to do. He'd be way more effective doing reconnaissance and his job. Biden and them are the same fucking way. They're the same fucking way. They don't know what they're doing. And the generals don't either. That's why it used to be the generals were on the front line and they fought with the troops. When that ended, that's where we went wrong. You want that extra pay? You want to be treated like your royalty? You're on the front line your entire fucking career. Biden's numbers dropped from 50% to approval, 49% disapproval last month to 44%, 54% now, according to a University of New Hampshire survey. A contributing factor appears to be Afghanistan. Biden's 48 to 46 approval on foreign policy last month, and the Granite State poll plummeted to 36 to 60% in August. It's not just Afghanistan that's troubling Americans. Amid rising inflation and a spike in COVID case due to the highly contagious Delta variant, an NBC News poll released on Sunday indicated President's approval rating on combating the coronavirus pandemic dropped from 69% in April to 53% earlier this month. And Biden stood at 47 to 49% on handling the economy, down from 52 to 43% in April. Like, dude, that's bad. Like, that's bad. President Biden's overall approval rating has taken a turn for the worse due to his awful job performance rating on Afghanistan, Suffolk Political Research Center Director David Palagologos highlighted. His approval on immigration and the economy are also upside down. The only issue keeping him remotely in the game is his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, where he is barely at 50%. The way Biden is going to plus that number up is by trying to push more forced mandates. That's the only way. That's going to please the Democratic left. He's going to double down on that. Meanwhile, like White House and the rest of them, I think last I checked, they still were not required to get the vaccine. But he's pushing for private businesses to do it.
I think
Or maybe
Delta is coming out with something.
Oh, now there's the booster shot. Get the booster shot.
Yeah, I'm not getting any shots.
I ain't getting shit.
Yeah.
The approval rating is the most monitored indicator of a president's popularity and political strength, and it's a crucial barometer for a president's party's success heading to the midterm election. Do you think Trump already is he running in 2024? I think he is.
I want to say he is.
I think Trump is.
I don't know that he's officially announced, but there's been enough hints dropped that it sounds like he is going to.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I hope he does. I hope Trump runs again.
But I don't know that DeSantis would be.
Dude, if it was the Trump-DeSantis ticket, oof, I think that would definitely unite the freaking GOP.
DeSantis is better being a governor in Florida.
Oh, he's
I think
kicking
Kristi
ass.
Noem would be a great
pick
for a VP.
Bro, she was like, she's got
She'd
bigger
probably
balls than all
be
of
a
them.
good president.
I think so too. She actually stuck to her guns in the midst of every other state shutting down. She's like, nope, we ain't doing it. I was like, damn.
I think
good for her.
I think Alan West is going to give Abbott a run for his money.
I think so as well.
And you know what? I'm going to say he's probably got my vote.
I think Alan West has definitely got it in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm for that. I would vote for West. He just did an Instagram thing 2 or 3 days ago that his wife was arrested for suspicion of drunk driving, and all she had was a lemon and water at lunch.
Lemonade, yeah.
And his grandson was in the car. Okay, so for those that don't know, Alan West was a former congressman, I think in Texas.
Yeah.
Was it Texas? He was military, served
Colonel
for like
Alan West.
Colonel, yeah, he's a big. I've met him like a few times. Really nice dude.
Super nice guy.
I think he was a tanker, so I won't hold that against him. He was a pogue, but good dude, very intelligent. He's got the military stuff. He's got the job experience of being in Congress, but he's running for governor of Texas now. Mm-hmm. And he went on Instagram, I think 2 or 3 days ago, and apparently, Alan was out doing something else, and his wife was driving back from a luncheon date, and she was pulled over, and she had their grandson in the backseat of the car. The police arrested her on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. Now, the reports from people that were with her at lunch were saying, and this is what Alan confirmed. And by the way, they already said that she was not intoxicated. She didn't pop. Like the police admitted this.
Yeah.
So, on what grounds do you have to be able to arrest somebody on suspicion? Because that's what the field sobriety test is for. Mm-hmm. And if they pass it, then where's your probable cause? And she literally had no alcohol in her system. And so Alan West goes on there and props him. He calls out the fucking Dallas police chief.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I want an apology. And I want the officer that arrested her fired.
Yep.
It's like, yes, I agree.
Right.
100%. And so Mike the cop, I love Mike the cop. Good dude. But he's out there blasting Alan West saying, way to throw us all under the bus. Like, he's not. He's telling that one fucking cop, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you fucked up. You went way beyond your authority, and you arrested someone unjustly. Mm-hmm. And by the way, his grandson was left with 2 Dallas officers, and Alan was pissed about that too. He's like, you left my grandson potentially in a dangerous situation where right now where officers are being targeted. You left my grandson on the side of the road with 2 and he's a baby. He's a baby.
Baby.
It's like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's... Dallas
Good
is
for
not
him.
bad.
Oh, Dallas is. I mean, it's blue controlled.
I mean, it's like super blue.
It's really bad.
Yeah. I don't know how it got so out of control.
Bro, there were people.
There's taxes over there. Mm-hmm. My dad's building over there. It's like $42,000 a year in property taxes. And like the crime is out of control.
That's why we moved out. That's why I moved. That's why I left downtown.
Building
Dallas.
was broken into. I mean, it's not a good.
It's a shithole. It's a fucking shithole. If it turns blue, it turns to shit. I think Dallas population's like 4.6, 4.8 million.
Yeah,
and the crime is horrible.
Big,
and by the way, you know, racists that exist in this world, be white and go into South Dallas and see what happens to you. You want to talk about racism that still exists? Don't preach to me about, you know, sometimes black people feel uncomfortable in white neighborhoods. There are places in South Dallas that even white cops don't go. It's true. There's places in South Dallas that white cops won't even go. So you take that for as you want. Back to the article at hand. Even before the recent spat of events, Democrats already face stiff political headwinds heading into the 2020 midterms, where they're defending their razor-thin majorities in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Bro, if the red controls the House and the Senate, we are in a political stalemate, and that is exactly what we want. And then you're going to see the authoritative powers of the Biden administration come into full fucking effect. Then you're going to see all these executive orders that Republicans kissed Trump's ass over for 4 years. Biden's going to be handing them out left. He already has. And then you're going to start to understand why the executive order process needs to go the fuck away. Because when you circumvent Congress, then what need have you of a Congress?
Yeah.
What need have you of a three-system branch of government? None. If the president can do his own thing, he's basically a dictator. He's a king.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants. But I really think there will be a red wave. I think Republicans are going to turn out more so than ever. And I think I don't want to say this, but I honestly feel like if we see the voting system produce the same type of results where people are so skeptical of cheating and stuff, like, there is going to be violence. I think
that's not going to happen again.
No, it's not.
It won't.
Gamer Dog with a $20 dono on YouTube says those chocolate bars had fucked me up 11 out of 10. Dude, I'm happy to hear that. From Shell Shock CD, the Delta bar, the chocolate bar. Oh my God, those things are potent. They are potent as fuck. 40 milligrams of Delta 8 THC will get you higher than pigeon shit. Yep.
Our Delta 8 products are just
killing
good, man.
People are loving it.
They're high quality.
The gummies and the chocolate, yeah.
Yeah, the gummies, because they're made from this only mold in the United States. So each gummy is the exact
They're
same.
infused.
So
they're not sprayed. They're infused. So it's legit potency.
Oh man, they're
I tried one of the grape ones again last night, and fuck me.
Oh.
I did another stream. That was an evening's chill stream. It took about maybe 45 to 50 minutes for it to kick in because I ate one on a full stomach.
Yeah.
And bro, it had me fucked up.
They're good.
They're very good. And we're about to release the grape flavored and the blueberry flavored Delta 8 gummies, and we're about to release the 40 pack.
We got pink lemonade coming in.
Pink lemonade's coming in. We have so much. So check us out at shellshockcbd.com. American-owned company made right here in America. No foreign imports. What you see is what you get. There's no proprietary blends. It's all on the label. Of course, we're not lying to you about this. And we also have sample packs. If you want to try out a sample instead of like dropping $40 on a bag of gummies that you're unsure about, we have sample packs of 2s and 3s for like $5 that you can try out. I want you to try it. That's the reason why we did it. And again, code Burke will save you 10%, not on the sample packs, but code Burke will save you 10%. And by the way, September's coming up. We're calling it September, where we'll lock you in 20% off for a subscription. If you become a subscriber, we will lock you in anywhere from 15 to 20%. We haven't decided yet. But for the entire month of September, any new subscribers will get 15 to 20% off your subscription for life. As long as you remain a subscriber, your entire order, regardless of what it is that you subscribe to monthly, you'll receive that percentage off. Now, if you cancel and then resubscribe, we don't honor that. So check us out, shellshockcbd.com, veteran-owned and operated by me. And then Josh, my beautiful bearded Jewish husband, who's not really Jewish, and we're not married. We have sex.
Protestant.
There you go. So
and
check
our
us
25
out.
milligram gummies that are coming out.
Yep.
We have a pineapple that we're getting ready to release. We have a 60 count and a 30 count plus a 5 count. They're so good. I took like 3 or 4 of them.
They're amazing.
Oh my God, I was so mellowed out.
They're great.
They're great. They are fantastic.
Republicans have history on their side. On average, the party that wins the White House in a presidential election, in this case the Democrats, loses more than 25 House seats in the ensuing midterm election. And once the once-in-a-decade congressional redistricting process, which is currently underway, is expected to favor the GOP, as Republicans control more state legislatures and governor's offices. I'm calling it, man. Like I said, if people feel like this election, this midterms is rigged, there will be violence. January 6th is going to look like a walk in the park. And that's not me trying to instigate it. It's me speculating, saying, I see this getting violent. If people lose faith in the election process, then what do they have to lose?
If the Arizona Supreme Court delays the release of the election.
Yeah.
audit records.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Weird.
Weird. We got to know that. People keep asking for another John Ross. We got to do another John Ross. Fox News spoke with 4 Democrat strategists and consultants who were campaign veterans about concerns the president's fumbling of the Afghanistan exit, as well as the recent rise in COVID cases and inflation, will adversely affect the party's chances in next year's midterms. The 4 asked to remain anonymous to speak more freely. Democrats, because of how much is going on and how much they need to navigate, they need to stop thinking about winning in the 2022 elections, one strategist who has many progressive clients stated. Instead, Democrats need to start thinking about the best type of legislation that they can pass to serve the American people. Another strategist acknowledged that you never want to see approval ratings go down. Wow, that's deep. And you're a strategist? You're a strategist and you're saying this? Like, really? Like CNN is quoted, hey, it's not good when your approval ratings go down.
Not going to work.
Not going to work. Nope. It's not a good thing.
You need them up.
You need to get those numbers up. You got to go above 50%. If your numbers are down, it's not good. It's not like, wow, thank you, genius. I appreciate that. Thank you for the insightful strategy.
Insightfulness.
It's so insightful. It's so deep. That's what she said. Oh, my God. Foreign policy, specifically the Iraq War, was a top issue in the 2006 midterm elections. Growing opposition to the conflict contributed to the drop in then President George W. Bush's approval ratings and the blue wave that the Democrats rode in winning back majorities in both the House and Congress. But overseas conflicts have not been the most pressing issues in elections over the past decade. Foreign policy tends to fade from people's memories, a third Democratic consultant argued. It's hard to imagine that this will be the top of mind issue voters will think about when it comes to the election year. House Republican leader Representative Kevin McCarthy, in an old Fox News interview last week, pointed out to the current climate and argued that you look at the issues set off where the public is at: crime, inflation, wokeism, the border. All those the Democrats have to play defense. Republicans don't have to play defense at all. I called this, actually. I called this. People were so adamant about, you got 4 more years of Biden. It's like, yes, we do. Yes, we do. What did I say when I was still streaming on Twitch by myself? I said, we need 4 years of Biden. We need 4 years of Biden and Democrat-controlled Congress. Let America see just how much of a shithole we become with these woke, liberal fucktards in charge. And now you're seeing it. Now you are seeing it. They dropped the ball in Afghanistan. We lose all respect from our allies. People are fucking pushing the envelope left and right. Taliban's basically telling the fucking president of the free world, you either meet that August 31st deadline or we're going to fuck you up. And Biden's like, okay. Like, really? Really? But another Democratic consultant's not concerned. On the fundamentals, I'm not worried because President Biden and the Democratic Congress have taken measurable historic steps to repair 4 years of chaos, noise, and disruption. Like what? Restricting more freedoms? Like passing the executive orders that the Supreme Court's now reversing, saying no? The campaign veteran emphasized, the same voters that chose us in 2020 will see the measurable impact Democrats have had on their lives. Oh, yes, 100%. Gas prices are doing very well right now. Cost of lumber and goods, very well. Inflation, it's going to get bad. Because this $1 trillion thing they're trying to push now again for another stimulus deal, like I think it's like $3 trillion?
Democratic-led House authorizes $3.5 trillion of spending as national debt climbs to
print that money, baby.
$29 trillion.
Bro, my fuck me running. Fuck, $29 trillion in debt.
$29 trillion in debt.
Oh my God.
For what?
It's just $3 trillion more. Fuck it.
$3.5 trillion.
I remember they were like,
these guys are such criminals.
It's ridiculous.
It's amazing that everybody hasn't just risen up and yanked them out of the.
Oh my God. I hope it comes to that. I really do.
Congressional offices.
We need term limits like a motherfucker.
Term limits.
Oh my God. It's sad. It's so fucking sad.
Yeah. Honest elections.
Maybe.
Integrity.
Election integrity.
Honor.
Voter ID is racist. No, you're just a fucktard that wants to have the measures in your favor is all it is. It's ridiculous to me. I just don't get it. $3 trillion stimulus deal.
3.5 trillion.
3.5 trillion stimulus deal.
Yeah.
Or people just go the fuck back to work. And there is, you have all these TikTok activists out there. It's like, why can't we just print more money? Okay, Karen, shut the fuck up. And then
resolution authorizes $3.5 trillion in spending on new programs like universal pre-K, tuition-free community college, support for childcare, Medicaid expansion, legal status for certain categories of illegal immigrants, and other provisions. The formal legislation. It's so, like, that costs $3.5 trillion. It's criminal. Well, I want to know who the Republicans are too.
Names
who gave it a pass. Yeah,
and names will come out and look at primary.
Like
for
all
sure.
those guys need to be primary and ousted.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen to Newsom in California. Because even Californians are like, we're sick of this motherfucker. Like they're tired.
He's
of him.
not good.
He's horrible. He's horrible.
It's such a great state too. My dad used to live out there back in the '80s. It was so much fun to go out there, and now
not
it's
anymore.
It's super crowded, crazy expensive. Like you see what a $2 million house buys you, and it's like a studio apartment. Like, okay.
Everything blue just turns to shit.
Turns to complete dog shit.
I remember I saw the explanation in regards to. Sorry, Athena. I saw a great explanation in regards to the worth of the dollar, and like there was this stupid fucking TikTok girl. She's kind of like, "Why can't we just print more money?" And the guy's like, "When monkey have one banana, banana valuable. When monkey have 10 banana not so valuable." It's kind of like, do we need to explain like the basic economic process of inflation and printing more money and why it doesn't work? Like right now, the dollar is like worth shit. On the international stage, the dollar is worth shit right now. I don't even have the numbers in front of me. I was talking to my boys about it. Like the dollar's garbage right now. It's horrible. Yeah, it's almost to the point like we're gonna be like spending pesos. Like it's just not worth it. One butt has to look to Venezuela to see what a million fucking of whatever they're spending is going to get you. Are you watching Hassan Piker with your $3 million fucking house? You hypocrite. You hypocrite. You sit there and you propagate yourself up as the voice for the unjust, the financial inequality as you simps are throwing him all this fucking money. I want your money. At least be honest about it. Yeah. It's like, hey, pay me your fucking money. Not absolutely. I'm going to spend it on cars, booze, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to hide it, though. I won't hide that shit. Somebody says money is the root of all evil. Negative. The lust for money is the root of all evil. People say money doesn't buy you happiness. True, but I've never seen somebody crying in a Lamborghini. And you can buy a prostitute. So, I mean, they make you happy, too.
They can.
If you're some of those political leaders that got busted.
They sure can.
Money can sure as fuck.
OnlyFans subscriptions.
It can get you a lot of OnlyFans subscription. You can take some good quality content, some good pictures, show your butthole. Yep, bring it all back around. It's that entrepreneur mindset, man. Yeah. Move over, Andy Priscilla. John Burke's here. We got a whole new strategy called OnlyFans. Oh, my God. It's going to be really interesting to see what midterms do. I'm excited to see this. It's like a WWE cage match. Like, oh, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. I can't wait to see it. All students and staff at Afghanistan's only girls' boarding school flee to Rwanda. Well, that tells you they just feel really safe, doesn't it?
Have you ever been to Rwanda?
I have not. Have you?
No. Heard it's gorgeous.
And this is from CNN. Afghanistan's only girls' boarding school has evacuated dozens of students and staff to Rwanda, the president of the privately run institution said Tuesday. The move came days after the Taliban ousted the government in Afghanistan. Well, the fucking leader of Afghanistan packed up a shitload of money and ran. I think he sought refuge at a Russian embassy. I have to look this more. Basically, the president of Afghanistan was like, deuces, took a chopper full of money and hightailed it. That's
what
your
kind
problem.
What currency did he take? Was it?
Hopefully not American, because probably Afghan is probably worth a hell of a lot more right now. No, not really. Last week, the completed and departure from Kabul of nearly 250 students, faculty, staff, and family members, said Shabana Basij Rasik, who co-founded the School of Leadership Afghanistan, SOLA, in the Afghan capital. Now, that's progress right there. That's pretty badass. You want to talk about what Americans have done for you over there, that now women are getting an education, doing good stuff, and now it's gone. Everyone is en route by way of Qatar to the nation of Rwanda, where we intend to begin a semester abroad for our entire student body. Bro, props. Props to you. That's incredible. It's like, hey guys, okay, follow me. Taliban are taking over. We're taking a field trip. We're getting the fuck out of here, but we're still gonna learn. We're taking a field trip. Props to those teachers.
That's what they learned. They learned to
get the fuck out. Yeah.
You know what? I learned I don't like being beat.
I don't really dig being beaten or stoned
or
raped.
Having to wear this
Yeah.
canvas.
Not my thing.
Covering my
really.
body, yeah.
Not my thing.
It's hot. It's not breathable like cotton. Like a gauze, you know.
The school's president said she hoped they could all eventually go back. Our resettlement is not permanent. When circumstances on the ground permit, we hope to return home to Afghanistan. For now, I request privacy for our community, she wrote. Basij is highly decorated and co-founded the school while still a teenager with the mission of providing access to quality education for girls across her homeland. Dude, that's a hero. That's a damn hero right there.
I feel a movie coming on.
Yeah, right?
I feel a
Absolutely.
heartwarming Lifetime movie.
Hallmark, 100%.
Hallmark, yep.
Hallmark, 100%. Her post came days after she reported burning students' records not to erase them, but to protect. Smart move. This is on her Twitter. It is SBASIJRASIKH. And it shows a video of her actually burning the records. Nearly 20 years later, as the founder, the original tweet is, and this is tweeted out August 20th, 2021. In March of 2002, after the fall of the Taliban, thousands of Afghan girls were invited to go to the nearest public school to participate in a placement test because the Taliban had burned all female students' records to erase their existence. I was one of those girls. Nearly 20 years later, as the founder of an only all-girls boarding school in Afghanistan, I'm burning my students' records not to erase them, but to protect them and their 2-6. What a way. What a world. And again, you kneeling activists in the Olympics, you think you got it so fucking bad. So bad. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm so sick and tired of listening to you idiots. You have it so good. You just don't even... Send them to Afghanistan. Yeah. Megan, whatever the fuck is, the purple-haired lesbian soccer player, whatever, like, send her to Afghanistan. Like, put her in Afghanistan.
Do some soccer camps over. See if you can set a soccer camp
Yeah,
over
let's
there.
see where your head winds up after, like, a week over there. And then you trying to fucking kneel in front of the Taliban. See what
Who's
happens.
that? Anderson Cooper with purple hair?
It's like Anderson Cooper with small tits. That's weird. Weird.
With smaller tits.
Basij Rasik recounted how in 2002, a few months, talk about that. I was scared. I didn't want to continue. I didn't want to be killed by the Taliban. My parents, they were always the ones who kept pushing. She told CNN's Chris, dude, what the fuck is up with CNN? Like, I find myself kind of agreeing with some of their stuff. Like, whew, weird. Like, really weird. Bro, you know you're living in just a paradox when it's like, I find myself on the CNN website saying, I actually agree with a lot of what I'm seeing here.
What's going on here?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Trump loyalists. I'm sorry, MAGA cultists. I know you don't want to hear me say that. I know that's just very offensive. Like, no, CNN is nothing but bad. And they just buy into what Fox says, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, I was listening to, oh my God, I can't with this. Maybe it's just me. Madison Cawthorn addresses Congress. And I am so fucking tired of hearing these young buck political leaders talking about, it's just using these cliche statements. And he's like, Madam Speaker, blah, 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 blah. I'm not that old, but I know that we'll go back over there. And if we have to, we'll re-engage and we will drop bombs because that's our business. And business will be good. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, stop. That's like the most cringe shit I have ever heard. These talking points sound good in rhetoric. But bro, stop. It's embarrassing. And you know why it's embarrassing? Because we didn't do it. We didn't do it. We have been handcuffed for years. Stop speaking these bullshit statements that we don't believe anymore. I don't believe you. It's gotten ridiculous. They're saying the shit that Republicans jerk themselves off to, but they're not going to make good on it because he can't. He doesn't have the power. And we will bomb them. You and what army, Madison? You and what congressional vote? Who? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And people just eat like Republicans. Like, they just eat it up, hook, line, and sinker. It's like the Graham Allens out there just spitting out this bullshit rhetoric. And it's like, but how are you going to do this? because they can't take our guns. Okay, but what is this? What is this? Yeah, they took our jab. What? I'm just, yeah, I'm so tired of hearing this. And the Republicans eat this up. They fucking jerk themselves off to this. Like, fucking come and take them. Okay. I'm so tired of it. And people just, oh my God. I just know that people go in there and they politicize fucking everything. Like when they had troops at the Capitol for the elections, and Madison goes out there and takes pictures and shows videos of him handing out pizza to the troops. It's like, cool. But it's a fucking op-ed. That's all. It's a photo op. That's all you're doing. Hey, soldier, here's some pizza. Yeah. I don't know why I did SpongeBob.
Feed him.
Yeah, like literally feed him. Then Pelosi's doing it, and the troops, half of them are fat as fuck. Like, and nobody want to talk about. Like, these are National Guard soldiers that are fat as fuck. It's like, maybe you should be giving them some Slim Fast. I don't know. Do they really need pizza, Madison? I mean, Pelosi, congressional leaders.
Sandwiches.
Maybe some sandwiches. You know, maybe we should do that. But instead, like, all these fat ass, not all of them are fat, but like there's so many fat National Guardsmen out there. They're like, their body armor is like sticking like the muffin top. Look at the fat rolls hanging out the sides. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm fat shaming the military. You National Guard and you active duty people that are out there like with your shit hanging over your fupas or like hanging out of your body armor, you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. You should. You're a disgrace to the goddamn uniform. It's ridiculous. But they're out there taking all these fucking photo ops to show just, oh, we love the troops. We love them. We know you love the troops. No one's questioning that. The only reason they're doing that is to lure that over the other political side. That's all they're trying to do. Look how much Democrats hate the troops. I'm feeding them pizza. And the Democrats are like, we're feeding them Subway. The Republicans hate the troops. It's like, the troops are just like, we just want to go home. We just want to go home. Will you let us go home? Like, yeah. Moving on from that article. Okay, this is actually really impressive. I can respect this. 2 congressmen traveled to Afghanistan amid frantic evacuation efforts. Props to these guys. 2 U.S. congressmen on Tuesday made an unannounced visit to Afghanistan as the U.S. races to evacuate as many people as possible from the country in the remaining days of the U.S. military presence there, taking Democratic leadership by surprise and drawing swift criticism. Representatives Seth Moulton, a Democrat from Massachusetts, and Peter Meyer, a Republican from Michigan, said in a joint statement Tuesday that they had traveled to Kabul to conduct oversight on the mission to evacuate Americans and our allies, and that the trip had been conducted in secret to minimize the risk and disruption of the people on the ground. Okay, I can respect that. I respect the fact that 2 members of Congress did what nobody else is doing and saying, I'm going over there to look. I want to go see. Like, as much as I didn't like McCain, at least McCain put boots over in the Middle East and actually walked the streets. Like, he's like, look how safe it is. It's like, because you're surrounded by like millions of fucking troops. Like, they locked down that city. Like, of course it's safe. Now then when you leave, then it's not so safe. It's kind of like, it's basic, it's fundamental common sense.
Even more not safe now.
Yeah.
Because they've got 75,000 U.S. Vehicles, 600,000 weapons, and 208 planes.
Is that what you got? The stats right there?
Yeah.
Read that for the people. Like, what do they have stats-wise?
From just the news, the U.S. military is leaving behind 75,000 vehicles, 600,000 weapons, and 208 airplanes and helicopters in Afghanistan as the Taliban takes control of the country. So this guy says, we've made the Taliban into a major U.S. arms dealer for the next decade.
Yes, we have. They've got our shit.
Yeah. That's
scary.
A lot.
That's a lot. That's enough to equip an army.
They made an army.
They did. We just up-armored the Taliban. They just leveled up. Yeah. Thank you, U.S. military.
Thank you, Joe Biden.
I mean, realistically, though, that was Afghan army stuff. They abandoned it. It's actually the Afghan army's fault.
Yeah,
it
they
really
couldn't
is.
Get that stuff back? Or they couldn't blow it up?
The Afghan army?
No, like the Americans. Like,
Bro,
how are you going to leave all that stuff behind?
Because it's not so simplistic as it's like, hey, it's just on this one runway. It's like spread out throughout the entire country.
Yeah, well, I mean that's their job to figure it out.
True, but that's the Afghan army for you. I mean, they literally hightailed and fucking ran.
The American army.
No, I mean,
I feel like if we left it over there, if that's our stuff, then
no. That's what people don't understand. Is like, that's not our stuff. That's the Afghan army's equipment that we left them. That was theirs. They were trained on it. We literally said, "This is your stuff to fight the Taliban with," and they were kind of like, and they just ran. And so the Taliban took it over. So realistically, I can't blame Biden for this. Like, unless there's measures I don't know about, from my understanding, that was all handed over to the Afghan army. And then the Afghan army tucked tail and fucking ran. Taliban took it over, and now it's theirs.
Yeah, so in total, U.S. government spent an estimated $83 billion of taxpayer-funded funds on weapons, vehicles, and airplanes for the Afghan military.
Democrats are going to be shitting themselves with that one. Like, the fact their tax money was used to purchase firearms.
Yeah, the Biden administration said recently that a fair amount of weaponry would land in the hands of the Taliban, but it didn't have an exact number.
It's all of it. It's all theirs.
Yeah,
it's gone.
All of it.
It's gone.
An
You're not
exact
getting
number?
it back.
Yeah. But we have a rough estimate, and we'll say around 75,000 U.S. vehicles, maybe 600,000 weapons.
Somebody said, John, if we went back into Afghanistan, would you re-enlist? It's like, no.
Yeah, right.
Fuck no.
For
That's
what?
absolutely not. I've already fought my
war.
Exactly. Which war? Which, like, I'm sorry, but just the idea of serving the military or serving your country in a war I no longer agree with does not constitute patriotism to me. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't. I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off with that, but the truth is the truth. If the cause is not justified and it's not right, I ain't serving. I wouldn't serve. Just the act of serving a corrupted administration committed to a bullshit war they fucked up, no, not going to do it. I'm not risking my life for that. Absolutely not. And if the Afghan army is not willing to defend, or the Afghan people are not willing to defend what freedom we help provide them, then they don't need freedom.
They don't want it.
They don't want it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You cannot force democracy down the throats of those that just want to regurgitate it to have a theocratic dictatorship. You can't. It's not going to work. It's not for me. Plus, I'm too old to enlist anyway. Re-enlist. I'm 37. I think cutoff is 35. But no, that ain't me. I'm not going to fucking do it. I cannot imagine serving under Biden right now. God bless the troops. I love the troops. Don't take me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like the troops. I always love the troops. I blame the suits, not the boots. The guys in the military and the girls in the military are just doing what they're trained to do. They're following orders. We need them. But man, like, I get questions about this all the time from people that are still in the service saying, John, if they mandate the vaccine, what should I do? It's like, you only have two choices. Either you take it or you don't. And if you don't and they threaten you with discharge, then you take your discharge. But realistically, and here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, you've got 3 more years, 3 and some change, of a Biden administration. Okay? Now listen to me, military that are listening to this. If they come at you with threatening a discharge, I don't think it's going to be a dishonorable. I think they're just going to separate you on an honorable, saying, okay, you've done your time, you won't get the vaccine, you can't be here. If they do threaten you with a dishonorable, I would go to a civilian lawyer. Wouldn't even go to a JAG lawyer. I would go to a civilian lawyer and fight that, saying, I'm going to get the discharge, but it ain't going to be dishonorable because I did not sign my contract to receive this jab. Didn't do it. You cannot force that on me. So if you look at this could be your opportunity to get out and do something else with your life than serve this corrupted administration. Mm-hmm. That's just my views on that. So
it's a sticky situation over there.
It's a very sticky situation, yeah. But I mean, if you look at it that way, it's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Separate. Get out. Leave them. Like, I would never want to serve this administration. Never want to do it. Mm-mm. As members of Congress, we have a duty to provide oversight on the executive branch, said Moulton and Maher, both military veterans who had served in the Middle East. The pair said they had traveled to Afghanistan on a plane with empty seats, seated in crew-only seats to ensure that nobody who needed a seat would lose one because of our presence. But the trip, ostensibly a typical congressional fact-finding mission, blindsided House leadership and the House Armed Services Committee, according to a senior Democratic leadership aide, as well as the White House, according to a source familiar with the matter. The Associated Press first reported on the trip. A U.S. official characterized the visit as an unhelpful distraction, telling CNN on Tuesday that the Defense Department was also not given advance notice that the congressman would fly to Afghanistan. The visit came as U.S. officials have worked to increase the pace of evacuation flights, and the unannounced arrival of U.S. politicians in the middle of a war zone would have drawn scarce resources and personnel away from evacuation mission, especially amid a persistent terror threat from ISIS-K and other groups looking to target American and coalition forces. Okay, what is ISIS-K? I know ISIS, but what is ISIS-K? It's like, this is like the Delta variant of the Taliban. Like, what is our ISIS? Like, what is ISIS-K? Does anybody in chat know what ISIS-K stands for?
Is it from another portion of
another terrorist cell that's joined them? I don't know.
The Middle East region?
I have no idea.
Or maybe they're a lighter version?
I think it's just funny to me that everybody's kind of like, guess who's back? Back again. Yeah. ISIS is back. It's the kilo variant. ISIS ketamine. Oh my God! In a letter that was sent to the White House and the members Tuesday, as the congressional or our congressmen were in Afghanistan, according to a source familiar with the timeline, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, without explicitly referencing the trip, discouraged lawmakers from visiting the country, arguing that such travel would unnecessarily divert needed resources from the evacuation efforts. Well, both of them fought in the Middle East. They're both veterans. They know what they're doing. They know what they're getting their hands into. Those would be the people that you want to send. It's like they know what they're looking for. They know what this looks like. They know what right and wrong looks like. They don't need extra precautionary details. Like give them a gun. They'll be okay. They know how to fend for themselves. They're all right. A few beef stew MREs, good to go. Like, yeah. Democratic Representative Sarah Jacobs of California, member of the Armed Services Committee, also criticized her colleagues' decisions to travel overseas, saying in a tweet, "Whether it is Haiti or Afghanistan, taking up space in a disaster zone for your own ego helps no one." Wow. Wow. This bitch, this cunt, call her what she is, a fucking cunt. You literally just called 2 war veterans that went over there saying, I want to get boots on the ground to see what the fuck is going on, to provide direct oversight to the executive branch, and you're saying this is ego fed? Like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Sarah Jacobs of California can go suck a fucking dick. You kidding me? Ego fed journal. What ego? What ego? They literally left their fucking comfort, luxurious houses, say, we're going to Afghanistan. We want to see what the fuck's going on. Making sure they took up 2 seats that were for crew members only, so people coming back would actually have seats. Fuck you, cunt. Fuck you. Like, what a piece of shit. I love the comment on YouTube said, notice that Sarah is not in Afghanistan. She should be. Run your mouth like that over there, bitch. See what the fuck happens to you, cunt. Fucking sitting there. What a disgusting human being. 2 fucking war veterans going, both a Democrat and Republican, going over there to get eyes, boots on the ground and say, hey, we're going to be accurate. This is what's going on. This is what we can do better. To come back and report to the president and say, hey guys, this is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that just shows how out of touch these people
100%.
who are occupying these positions.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need to be in these positions. You know, they're Karens. They
100%.
belong on Facebook judging other people's outfits.
What a coward she is. What a fucking coward. Did these people actually do the right thing saying, hey, I'm going over?
Yeah.
It's like, props to you. I was kind of hoping Crenshaw would, but I don't think he's going to. I mean, if Crenshaw went over there, that'd be like, yeah.
He's like, oh, I'd give my left eye to get over there again.
Crenshaw, I've lost. I just sad to see him go that way, but it is what it is.
I don't know. I guess you can't agree with everybody on everything.
No,
but some things are a little bit more do we really want to spend another $83 billion in weapons for the enemy to take control over? I don't think so.
All right, we're going to field another question. If you go on my Instagram at @TheJohnBurke and you swipe up, you can see the question areas there on the website. Submit your questions and your confessions. We'll read them live on the show. That's one of those fuck, marry, kill questions. Those questions are so stupid. I'm not going to, no. Okay, this question comes from Tom, and he says, what do you say to healthcare workers who aren't pushing the vaccine and are just trying to get through bagging bodies and calling families their loved ones died, and telling families their loved ones died? What would I tell you? Good job. I mean, what do you expect me to say to that? What I will tell you is this, that I'm not going to give up my freedoms just because you're doing that. And I'm sorry, I'm just not. It's kind of like that whole idea behind, like, how many people have to die from gun violence before you give up your guns. It's like, all of them. Sorry. Like, no. Don't sit there and play this emotion. I'm not accusing Tom of doing this, but people on social media do this. They try and play the emotional card. Well, you don't care about somebody's life. It's like, bro, look. Do not sit there and lecture me on what I care and don't care about. When you go on Steven Crowder's Twitter feed and you look at, like, the stuff he's posting about his heart surgery and shit, and all the people in the comments wishing him death, do not sit there and tell me I should give 2 fucks about you. Yeah. I guarantee when I die, there's going to be people pissing on my grave. Guarantee it. Don't sit there just because we're Americans and think I have to give 2 fucks about you. I don't. That's what makes America great. Yeah. You're responsible for yourself and nobody else. We have no moral obligation to one another whatsoever.
Does that same question apply to people who are obese or have heart disease or any of that?
All these fucking universal health care idiots.
That can be avoided.
Mm-hmm. All the universal health care idiots out there talking about, it's like, we need universal health care. It's like, so you want to pay for the 75% obesity rate that's going on? Like, you want your funds, and a majority of which they did to themselves, you want to pay for that? Yeah, it'd be like a whole movement of people dying from smoker's lung, and you feel like we should pay for that because you chose to smoke? I'm like, no, absolutely not. I should not be responsible for that. That's your choosing to do. But we can't do that.
Great question. Thanks.
Great question, Tom. Keep up the good work. Stay safe. Do the best you can. God bless you for what you're doing. I'm sorry it's so difficult for you, but yeah. Last question. This comes from Connor, and he says, with all the talk of toxic masculinity and the softening of the men in this country, what do you think we need to do to make men men again? Stop giving a fuck about the opinions of weak motherfuckers. That's where America went wrong. We started pandering to the weak single percentiles of this country. Instead of trying to build them up to make them stronger, we pander to them now. I just read an article that at the 101st Airborne, Air Assault, God bless the Screaming Eagles, one of my home units, love these guys and girls over there. When you go to the 101st Airborne, it's known for being air assault, meaning you're rappelling down towers, out of choppers. You learn how to sling load, basically things that these helicopters carry beneath them to drop off in certain areas. It's what the 101st is known for, because the 101st used to be airborne, and they took that away, but they still keep the airborne tab for historical purposes. But now it's air assault. So you go to air assault school. So when you go to the 101st, you are going to go to air assault school. You're going. It's 11 days of the dumbest fucking shit. They call it like the hardest 11 days in the Army. Of course they call it that because the instructors want to make themselves feel good about themselves. It's like, oh, we're so mean to people. It was the 11 stupidest fucking days. They can condense that course down to like 5 days and remove all the fucking smokings and dumb shit and say, okay, this is how you do sling load operations. This is how you fucking tie a Swiss seat. This is what you do. But instead, in true military fashion, they got to gay it up. They do. They got to make anything that you would do on the civilian side that's fun, like take, for example, skydiving, they turn it into airborne school, and they just gay the shit out of it. And it's like, oh, this is so not fun. This is so not fun.
All right, you two over there touch penises.
You two over there, you touch each other's dicks, yeah. It's the truth. It's the fucking truth. So, anyway, we talk about the weakening of men because of feminism. Third wave campus feminism is the weakening of men now. And now this article showed a group of these air assault students around this one female that's clearly overweight, and she's apparently talking to them in a psychologist level of dealing with anxiety before having to rappel off a 60-foot tower. Dealing with anxiety before having to rappel off a 60-foot fucking tower. I've been off that tower. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. When I was a drill sergeant, I had to fucking tie each one of these little shitheads fucking Swiss seats, check that shit, walk them up the fucking tower, and then watch them rappel down one at a time. If 17-year-old boys that we train can do this, so the fuck can you. Like, this bullshit of like, okay, come, bring it in, guys. Bring it in. Okay, look, I know you're scared to do what you came here to do, which you voluntarily raised your hand and say, I want to go to air assault school and I want to rappel off this tower, off this chopper, this bird. I know you're scared. I know you have anxiety, but we can get through this together. Let's just hold each other's hands. You two, Tom and James, you hold it and touch penises while you're at it. There you go. Okay. Now let's just do a hum together. Hum penis. This is where we went weak. Stop pandering to weak minds and strengthen them. You know the best kind of motivation to get one of those privates off that tower when they freeze? A drill sergeant pulling out a knife saying, if you don't fucking rappel, I'm cutting this fucking line and you'll fall. Zzz, and then they fucking go. And it works. And once they get over it, they're good. Once they get down that first time, then they're fucking fine. It's like, all right, it wasn't that bad. You build shit up in your mind, but that's how you overcome shit in your life. Because instead of like pandering to the weakness, you just fucking do it. You fucking do it. And you go out there and you test yourself and you push the fucking limit. You push the envelope. You don't sit there and pander to weakness. Imagine Ranger School being like that. Hey, guys, look. Excuse me, guys. Look, I know this 90 to 100-pound rucksack you guys are carrying for days on end and like the 2 MREs that you get to eat a day back to back and you're starving. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, but you can do it. I believe in you. So let's take hands. Jim and James, touch penis again. Let's do that. Let's hum together. Penis. Like, shut the fuck up. The military has gone woke. It's weak. Like I said, I called this back in 2015 when I was doing the car rants. It's gotten so fucking woke and weak. It ain't the same military. Like the NCOs that I served under were all like not Korea, Kosovo veterans. CIB is the combat infantryman badge that indicated combat were nowhere to be found. Desert Storm veterans were kind of like out the door. They were all gone. There was a few old crusty bastards left. When I got there, they could still put hands on you. Like the NCOs did not fuck around. Like, did not fuck around. Nowadays, like, oh my God, you'll get your dick slapped. Like, just to be a successful drill sergeant, to like do 2 years on the trail and walk away with your hat and badge without somebody taking it, that's a successful drill sergeant. Like, when I was on the trail back in 2012, 2014, you couldn't make privates do more than 10 push-ups at a time. You couldn't make them do more than 10 push-ups at a time. When I was in basic training, we were literally in the front-leaning rest position for 45 fucking minutes straight while our drill sergeant was upstairs getting his dick sucked. Not really. He wasn't. He was just standing there laughing at us. But we were literally in the front-leaning rest and push up for 45 fucking minutes. Your hands look like hamburger by the time you're done. They didn't fucking care. You're going to get strong or you're going to get smart. Or you'll get both. Now it's like, let's just soften them up. They're like little hard-boiled eggs. And they just break everywhere.
We're doing that 10 push-up challenge.
10 push-up challenge.
And then we're going to dump a bucket of ice on our heads.
Gonna dump some
raise awareness.
Raise awareness for the weakening of the fucking military. So yeah, I read this article, and it's like we're trying to help soldiers overcome stress and anxiety. There is nothing more satisfying than overcoming an obstacle that you thought you couldn't by actually fucking doing it. You either create the bravery on your own, or you do not. You do, or you do not. There is no try. Because you're a bunch of pussies. That's what it turns into right now. So everyone talking about all this bullshit of the weakening of the military, this is where it starts. This is where it starts. So to answer your question, as far as to be more manly and masculine, just don't be weak. And what I mean by don't be weak is like, don't take the fucking easy route of shit. Easy route out of shit. If something's hard, fucking do it. Don't half-ass it. Go full throttle on it. Stand up for what you fucking believe in. You know, and there is such thing as toxic masculinity. When you sit here and tell someone, like, you know, they're dealing with depression, it's like, oh, stop being a pussy. No, that is toxic masculinity versus like, hey, man the fuck up and go deal with your issues. Go get help. Stop giving a fuck with these haters thing. Be stronger than that. Like, if you have PTSD and shit like that, go get the help you need. And shaming people for doing that is wrong. That's toxic masculinity. I've seen that, and it's not right. I used to participate in that when we were still in the service, and we realized, like, hey, this isn't helping anybody. But instead of like trying to challenge people to push through these hardships the right way, we kind of went about it the wrong way and created a lot of problems. So yes, I think we can progress into a better form of masculinity while still maintaining the old traditional values of what it meant to be a man. Like, I don't know one single woman that would want to be with a man that cries after sex. I don't. Like, listen here. Like, this is not hard as far as pleasing a woman. You fuck her like a porn star. You fuck her like a porn star, you slap her ass, you pull her hair, you spit in her mouth, you call her Sally or whatever her name is, and you fucking go to town. And you make her feel like a woman, like she's being taken care of. And she'll do the same for you.
Spitting in the mouth sounds more Taliban-ish.
Yeah, teach their own. I mean, I wear a burqa when I have sex. I like feeling in control. And then, you know, sometimes I have the RPG where we're going doggy style. Teach their own. But yeah. So just don't give in to the soy leftist movement of effeminate men. Like, you're not men, in my opinion. You're just not. Provide. Hunter-gatherer, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. That's just me. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going for, it's 11:55. We started at 10. We've been going for almost 2 hours on this podcast. It's time to end it. Anyway, check out our show sponsor. Josh and I are co-owners of ShellShockCBD.com. You see the beautiful green screen behind them right there. That's ShellShock CBD. We have the sample packs of the Delta 8, the CBD oil. It's amazing. Come check us out. Veteran-owned. We've had so many wonderful reviews from the products on Google. Go to the Shell Shock CBD Instagram page. You can leave a review on the link tree there. Check us out. We're going to be offering some deals here in the future that you can only find on the Instagram page. It'll be like 10-20% off a single product for a week. Go check that out. Much love. If you like the podcast, give it a share. Tell your friends. As soon as we get done filming this, we're going to upload the audio to SoundCloud and iTunes, which you can find the All American Savage Show podcast on there. Just go look up John Burke. And we're going to upload the video version to YouTube and to Rumble. And I'll post those links and stuff on my Twitter and my social media accounts. Give us a follow. Tell your friends. Share it. I can't thank you all enough for all the love and support. Thank you for all the donations, the new subscribers on Twitch, the YouTube donations. You people are fucking amazing. But again, we'll be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. CST. Josh, any parting words?
Yeah, if you guys are here in the DFW area, you can come out to our shop in Richardson, Texas.
Yep. The address is on the website and on our Instagram page.
So
you can actually come into the store,
There's
you can
that.
tour the studio, you can come check out where we do this show at, and you can come see the facility if you want.
Yeah.
So again, much love, guys. Don't forget code Burke will save you 10% off of your orders on shellshockcbd.com.